and they took 4 out of 5 after the release of Danny Graves. And after unceremoniously dumping manager Dave Miley and pitching coach Don Gullett, 2 victories, 2 tries. And they look to keep the streak going in an interstate rivalry with Cleveland tomorrow.
Well, you know, we're looking forward to it. It's always fun, the Ohio rivalry and stuff like that. It should be fun for everybody. But we got to go in there and win some ball games. That's what we're hopefully planning on doing.
We've got a good group of guys here that are disappointed with the start that we've had, and they want to do well. We've got these guys are battlers, and they want to get after it, and they do want to do well.
They will meet the Indians without the service of Kenny Kelly. The outfielder undergoes arthroscopic surgery today to repair a torn meniscus in his left knee, which he may have injured making this catch Tuesday. He will not run again for 3 weeks. Will be placed on the 15-day DL tomorrow. Jerry Narron replaces Dave Miley, so who replaces Narron? That would be Moses. The Reds minor league outfield and base running coordinator John Moses moves into the spot of major league bench coach, trying to help Narron part the Reds' seas of losses. That's bad.
It isn't a mechanics problem. Quote, there are no adjustments to be made. Maybe not mechanically, but readjusting that 7.82 ERA, the sooner that's addressed, the better. The lefty not only leads the league, but the majors in homers and earned runs allowed, and his 116 hits are good enough for 3rd most in baseball, so it's no shot. He leads all starters with that hard-to-miss ERA. Top of the first, not helping the ERA is Victor Martinez singles to left. Adam Dunn's throw off line, and it's going to be cut off. Grady Sizemore scores. Tribe up 1-0 early. Next batter, Ronnie Belliard with 2 on. And, of course, Eric Milton, he is a fly ball pitcher off the wall and right. That's a double. Travis Hafner scores. Victor Martinez trying to do the same, but Willie Mo Pena to Rich Aurelio to Jason LaRue. Out by a mile, Reds down 2-0. Top of the second, Junior jumps on the first pitch he sees. Opposite field home run off Scott Elton. Just makes it into the front row, number 13 on the year for Griffey. Next batter, Joe Randa follows Griffey's lead. Back-to-back bombs. This one's heading for Lake Erie. Randa's 12th of the year, 4th in 8 games, just like that. Reds tied up at 2, but in the bottom half of the inning, Jose Hernandez, solo job, of course, Mr. Home Run, puts the Indians back on top 3-2. Reds tied at 3, but in Hernandez's next at bat, different direction, same result. 8th multi-home run game of his career. Milton has 7 of those this season. But speaking of multi-home run games, Junior has his first since June 6th of last season. Knots this one up in the 8th. Junior halfway to 100 RBI, 3 for 4 night, raises his average to 280. Still tied, top 9, Willie Mo on second. Felipe Lopez hits his 17th double of the season off the left field wall. Willie Mo trots around for the score. Reds take a 5-4 lead. Bottom 9 now, tying run on for Johnny Peralta, but David Weathers gets him to fly out to left to end it. Weathers with his 3rd save as the Reds win 5-4. Jerry Narron a perfect 3-0 as Reds manager. The Reds snap an 8-game road losing streak. Edwin Encarnacion goes 0-4 in his major league debut. Junior has his 51st career multi-home run game, good enough for 9th on the all-time list. Despite a decent outing, Milton extends his winless streak to 6 games, and Felipe Lopez continues that all-star push with the clutch hit.
We've been playing good ball lately, past few days, and you know we've been doing the little things. So it's awesome to come with the big hit. You know, the pitches are battling out there. You know, it's just awesome. You know, to keep things going.
It took 75 suspensions, but finally, a Reds minor leaguer has been suspended for violating the minor league drug prevention and treatment program. Right-hander Jeff Bush, 3-3 with a 2.94 ERA at AA Chattanooga, will sit out 15 games. The Reds got him as part of the 2003 deal that sent Jose Guillen to Oakland.
Well, it's hot and humid here in Cleveland, as it has been the first 2 nights, and the ball was jumping out of the ballpark last night. Let's go to our 1-800-SAFE-AUTO highlights. And the Reds jumped out early in this one. 3rd inning, Joe Randa doubles to left. His 41st RBI. Casey scored it 3-1.
Luke Hudson was on the mound for the Reds and couldn't keep the ball in the ballpark. Grady Sizemore took him deep there.
And then Victor Martinez, yep, no doubt about this one as he drills this. It's 4-3 Cleveland.
Ben Broussard made it 3 home runs off Luke Hudson as the deficit grew for Cincinnati.
Yeah, and Travis Hafner, this guy's pretty strong. Hits a single to right here. Sizemore comes around and scores 9-3.
That was an 8-run 3rd inning, and the onslaught continued in the 4th when Broussard hit his 2nd home run of the game.
Now wait till you see this one, folks. That one was absolutely juiced by Travis Hafner, his 11th homer of the year, I should say, 11-3, and one of the longest hit here at the Jake.
It was 12-3 Cleveland going to the ninth when the Reds made it respectable, at least more respectable. Javier Valentin hitting the first of 3 home runs in the inning.
And the middle one was delivered by who else? The shortstop, Felipe Lopez, his 13th of the year, made it 12-5.
And Jason Romano, who arrived at the ballpark at 9 p.m., got into the game late and hit his first home run of the season to cap the scoring.
And there you see the line, 12-21-0 for Cleveland, 7-13-1 for Cincinnati. Westbrook gets the win. Hudson, tough luck last night. Martinez, 3 for 5, double home run, and a couple of RBIs.
So it was a brutal night for Luke Hudson. He referred to it after the game as his worst night ever in the major leagues. Statistics certainly back that up.
Oh, if only Aaron Harang could be pushed back another 5 days to July. It's been a rough June for the right-hander. Harang entered the month 4-2 with a sub-3 ERA, but his most recent starts, that's a different story. 4 defeats in 4 games with an ERA of 7.23. On the bright side, no Reds pitcher has lost 5 straight starts since John Smiley back in April 1997. Harang looking to pitch the Reds for their first road series victory in Cleveland. Let's go to the Jake. Top of the first, 2 runners on. CeCe Sabathia gets Sean Casey to strike out. Ken Griffey Jr. strikes out. Joe Randa fouls out. The Reds miss a golden opportunity to score early, but they get another chance in the second. Willie Mopena on first, and Jason LaRue makes it happen. With this home run to left, just enough for the 2-run shot. LaRue's 6th this season. Reds were up 2-0. But in the third, a walk, a single, another walk. Loads the bases for the DH, Travis Hafner, who doubles past Randa down the left field line. Scores Josh Bard. He's followed by Grady Sizemore. The Indians tie it up 2 apiece. Tribe going top in the 5th. Ben Broussard hits the comebacker. Aaron Harang double pumps, perhaps costing the Reds a double play. Sizemore comes home. It's 3-2. Harang goes 6 innings, allows 6 hits, 3 earned. On to the 8th. Casey on third. 2 out for Dunn. Broken bat, 1 hopper, 2 hot for Ron Belliard at second. Casey scores on the air. It's now 3-all. Bottom 8. Leadoff man Jody Garrett hits a blooper off David Weathers into short left. Dunn and Felipe Lopez watch each other as the ball drops in. Garrett slides in the second for a double. 2 outs now. Pinch hitter Victor Martinez singles to right for the go-ahead run. Garrett scores. Indians 4-3. Look at Dunn. He's frustrated. Weathers also letting off some steam. Top of the 9th. Last chance for the Reds. Lopez on first for Rich Aurelia. He makes contact but flies out to end it. The Indians win the Battle of Ohio 4-3 as the Reds lose 2 out of 3, falling to 30-45 overall, 7-26 on the road. The Indians complete interleague play with a major league best 15-3 record, while the Reds go 7-8. They still haven't won a road series this season. In 6 interleague games in AL Parks, Reds designated hitters combined for 3 hits and 22 at-bats. That's a 136 average with 1 homer and 1 RBI. Weathers gets the loss. He is now 4-1 this season. The Reds make it a perfect 3 for 3, not on the field but off it. For the 3rd day in a row, a player lands on the disabled list. Lefty Randy Kiesler joins Kenny Kelly and Ryan Friel on the shelf, sidelined with inflammation in his left elbow. Also, William Begoya has been optioned to Louisville after hitting just 132 in 17 games with the big league team. And keep in mind, there will be another move before Thursday. Anderson Machado will be done with his minor league rehab assignment, and since he's out of options, Machado must either join the big league team or be released. He has just 3 hits in 40 at-bats with Louisville. Tonight, you make the call. Right now, he has the interim tag. But should the Reds bring back Jerry Narron as manager next season? Yes or no? Call us at 345-1212. It's a free call, and we'll have results coming up a little later in the show. In the Philadelphia Inquirer today, listen to this. Danny Graves says of his former team, the Reds, they have a lot of problems in the organization, that a lot of on-the-field decisions were made upstairs and not by Dave Miley, and that several Reds players are envious of him playing on another team. Wow. But wait, there's more. Says Graves, quote, I was one of the lucky ones who got out. I was fortunate. It was going downhill so badly. I was so glad to get out when I did. But they've got a lot of problems in that organization. I feel bad for the guys over there. It's got to be miserable for them. They're all loving it for me, end quote. With the Mets, Graves has allowed 4 runs in his first 4 2/3 innings. Should the Reds bring back Jerry Narron as manager next season? 48% say yes, but the majority, 52%, say no. get a new guy. Pretty even. Thanks if you're one of the hundreds who phoned us here tonight.
The Reds lost Sunday, and Cleveland could make anyone sick. There's really no way to know if that's what gave Ken Griffey Jr. flu-like symptoms, causing him to miss tonight's game against St. Louis. The Cardinals not likely missing Jr. or his 15 home runs in just 45 games against them. Reds offense gets off to a fast start, however. Top 1-2 on for Joe Randa. Takes Mark Mulder's pitch up the middle and into center. Felipe Lopez motors around from second, 1-0. But Brandon Clausen gives that up in the bottom half. Reggie Sanders teeing off with a home run, his 16th of the season. Cards go up 2-1, but the lefty settles down from there. Puts Sotoguchi to sleep here, goes 6 innings, allows 4 hits while striking out 6. Reds with a chance to end the 6th. Runners on the corners and 1 out. Jason LaRudo grounds it to the 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. Reds put the tying run on second in the 9th, but Jason Isringhausen gets Jacob Cruz to strike out to end it. 2-1 the final. Clausen gets the loss. He drops to 4-5 on the year. Randa finishes up 2 for 3. He's now hitting .297. Reds have now lost 15 of 17 on the road.
Combine that with a miserable 7-27 road record and facing the Cardinals right-hander Matt Morris, who just happens to be 8-1 on the season. Good luck, guys. We're all counting on you. Bottom 2, Adam Dunn on second. Willie Moe hits a blast to straightaway center, his 10th of the year. Reds up 2-0 early. Let me emphasize early. Ken Griffey Jr. 6, so Jason Romano's in, brought up for defensive purposes. How's his defense looking on this Reggie Sanders fly ball? Bounces into the stands, ground rule double. Next batter, Larry Walker. Bullet to right. We're tied at 2. Same inning. After one Felipe Lopez error, Yadier Molina to short. Lopez will throw it away again. Scott Rowland scores. Cards lead 3-2 in the 3rd. Walker again, his 2nd of the game, 9th of the year. Ortez done early. Bottom 5, more Reggie. Bang! His 5th homer of the year off Reds pitching, 17th on the year. Only got worse. 2 on. In the 6th, Jim Edmonds. Oh my, says Dick Enberg. 115 large ones allowed by Reds this year. They're down 10-2, but history in the top of the 9th. Ray Almeida on 3rd. Dunn at the plate. Sac fly. That's right, a sacrifice fly. His first since July 22nd of 2003. Woohoo! Reds lose big, 11-3. Ramon Ortiz throws just 2 innings, giving up 4 hits, 6 runs, 4 of them earned. Hamilton native Ricky Stone, he gives up 4 more runs in 2 innings of relief, ballooning his ERA to 6.51. And they each give up 2 home runs to raise the club's season total to an astounding 115 in just 77 games, almost halfway to the record they set last year at 236. All right.